Hey guys, the earthquake that we chose to research was the Good Friday earthquake. It was the second largest earthquake to occur, and it had a moment magnitude of 9.2, and it lasted around 4.5 minutes. So if you'd like to learn more about this earthquake, just keep watching. So just a little background about the earthquake that we chose, which was the Good Friday earthquake. It is also known as the Great Alaska Earthquake. It occurred on March 27th in 1964 at 5:37 p.m. in the south central region of Alaska. And the main cause of this earthquake was because an oceanic plate, which in this case is the Pacific plate, sunk under a continental plate, which in this case was the North American plate. And that is an example of a subduction zone earthquake.
Earthquakes can cause several types of landslides. The most common type of earthquake-induced landslide is a rock fall that occurs on steep slopes, which happened during the Good Friday earthquake. Soil avalanches can occur on steep slopes that are generally stable, but where the soil is fine-grained and not strongly held in place. Underwater landslides can occur in deltas and can be responsible for damage to port facilities, which is what happened in Seward, Alaska in 1964. There was a massive landslide in the port of Valdez because of the Good Friday earthquake. It washed away the waterfront area of Valdez. The entire town was deemed unsafe for living, so everyone in the town was forced to relocate to a safer location that was 4 miles away. This took up to 3 years to achieve. Earthquakes can also cause tsunamis. Of the 131 people killed during the earthquake, 119 died in the tsunamis. Most were killed by tsunamis triggered by underwater landslides, not by the earthquake-induced tsunami. The initial quake and subsequent underwater landslides caused numerous tsunamis, which inflicted heavy damage on the coastal towns of Valdez, Whittier, Seward, and Kodiak.
The human impacts of this earthquake were casualties and property damage. There were 131 total casualties, and most of the casualties actually came from the tsunami waves that occurred after the earthquake. Individual reports say different numbers for the casualties from the earthquake itself, but one source did say 9 casualties from the earthquake and 122 casualties from the tsunamis that followed. Sources also estimated about $2.3 billion worth of property damage, which then led to deeming the town as unsafe, and the residents had to relocate to a location 4 miles away. A city in Alaska called Anchorage suffered a great amount of damage due to the inadequate engineered buildings and infrastructure, and the picture on the left is the Prince William Sound region that collapsed due to the earthquake.
And now we have some interesting facts. There were thousands of aftershocks for three weeks following the Good Friday earthquake. During the first day, 11 major aftershocks had a magnitude of greater than 6.2. The events of the Good Friday earthquake were not quickly forgotten. The Valdez Museum created an exhibit about the earthquake to remember the 50th anniversary of the tragic event, which was called A Moving Experience, a look back at the Good Friday earthquake. They learned their lesson and created a broad earthquake monitoring system to gather data and help seismologists predict future earthquakes and their potential damage. The tallest tsunami wave was 219 feet. And here are our sources. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.